Next, we have our next comedian, Giles Mann. Are you up? Here he comes.
Nice, fellas. Never been played up on stage. I've been played off plenty. Well, as these lovely gentlemen have introduced myself to you, my name is Giles Mann. I know that's a little bit of an odd name. You see, my mother liked to watch a show that had an obese English butler on it, and she named me after that fella. His name is Giles. I'm just glad she didn't name me after her other interest, heroin. So I grew up with a single father, and that was a lot of fun. We used to do a lot of fun stuff together. Like, well, for example, one of the things we like to do is go to the beauty pageants and hit on the losers. You know, it's like, for example, hey baby, I know you got third, but you're number one in my eyes. Let's go get that sash off you. What do you say? I was listening to the news the other day, and there was an old boy on meth, and he ran from the cops. Now this is local and from where I live at, you know, a lot of meth heads. I got 3 in my neighborhood. They keep it exciting at night. But as the old boy was running away from him, he took a little packet and snorted
Move
it.
this back a bit.
Now I wonder if that's like a nitrous oxide boost at the drag strip. You know, if you're running away, you got little packets there, and it's like a 50 shot. So anyway, I'm married, believe it or not.
First time?
I don't think she'd share the same sentiment. But my wife, she had to go through that sinus surgery where they go in and roto-rooter you out a bit. Basically, they treated her face like she was a naive 18-year-old on a black leather couch. It was a pretty rough experience. And the guy was young, too. He was a young doctor, you know. It's like, man, her sinuses were mad whack, yo, but now she's lit. Oh, insurance ain't gonna cover this. Oh. So, I gotta tell you guys this. You just found out I'm married. You know, I also want to know I just recently had a kid.
Woo! Yeah!
Don't clap too much, it's the 4th one.
Get
They're not
bonus.
good kids either. You can't. But, so having said that, I gotta ask you all a personal question. Do you think Asian porn is pixelated because they have brand names on the genitals? You know, this stick brought to you by Timu. Now, the reason why I ask that is I'm a father of 4 kids. I watch a lot of videos now. And I've been going through the videos, and I've noticed that there's a bit of a trend. And it's kind of concerning. And it may not be the one y'all are thinking about. Has anybody in here heard of stuck porn? Okay, we got a whole group of people that are not honest, but I appreciate it.
Go on there next, Giles.
I'll explain it for everybody. It's this genre of adult film where a lovely young or sometimes older lady is working around the house and maybe she's, you know, getting that last sock out of the dryer, or she's getting the remote from under the coffee table. You know, or maybe she's checking deep into that couch to see if there's any change hiding in it. And she finds herself unable to move. She can't get out. And the only way to get this lovely young lady free is a strapping young lad has to come in and boink her until she gets loose.
Okay.
Now, the problem I have with this is although I am not a skinny young lady or older lady, I'm a 6'1", 400-pound man, and I have been stuck under a coffee table. I have been stuck in a dryer, and I've damn sure been stuck in a couch. And the last thing I want is for one of my buddies to come over, tap me on the shoulder, and say, "Hey, I can get you out of here. I saw it in the video." So growing up, I played football. I had a lot of fun playing football. It's the one thing I was naturally built for. Running back, believe it or not. No, not quite. They didn't allow me to touch the ball. They put me on defense specifically because they didn't even want me to hike the ball. So, but it was a lot of fun, but I always had trouble with the helmets. And, you know, I'm aware of what I look like. I've got a big old large 5-gallon head. And my grandma, she'd help me with getting the gear all set up, you know, trying to figure it out. And I finally asked her, I was like, why is nothing in the right spot? You know, why is the chin strap going across my forehead? Well, she worked at, you know, the Shut Sports, the football helmet factory where we live. She's like, oh, we give the factory seconds to the high school. It's like, oh, so you mean I'm wearing the, you know, nightmares of CTE pass that my fellow peers wore? It's like, great, all right, I'll make sure not to lead with the head. Speaking of high school, I had an English teacher. She was also a drama teacher. And it kind of flavored her way of teaching. It was kind of nice. You know, she'd throw in aspects of theater to help make English a little bit more entertaining. But for some odd reason, this woman hated Arnold Schwarzenegger. And for his acting ability, not the other reasons. And she hated him. She couldn't stand anything he was in, which I love Arnold, you know. True Lies is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But she loved Sean Connery. Hated Arnold Schwarzenegger, but loved Sean Connery. These two actors are the same person. They were both former bodybuilders that got into acting. And you cannot, Arnold Schwarzenegger playing an American CIA agent named Harry with a thick Austrian accent. Okay, that's a little hard to believe. But as long as the 1982 classic The Highlander exists, Sean Connery does not get a pass. In this movie, Sean Connery plays a Spanish swordsman named Juan Sanchez Villalobos. And he has a thick Scottish accent the entire time. Doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. You could train him, you could have Arnold Schwarzenegger do that exact same role and not notice. It's the exact same. And on top of that, I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger speak Spanish in a movie before. You all have seen Arnold Schwarzenegger speak Spanish in a movie before. Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
See? It works. He can do it. All right. This is the part where it gets uncomfortably silent as I try to remember what I was going to say next. Like my parents, we're going to sit in a minute. We're going to enjoy this. It may not get better from here, and I'm sorry. Okay, I remembered. So, I decided to buy my wife a gift. And, has anybody heard of a bidet?
Oh, yeah.
Do you all have them?
My friend.
Okay. They are a thing of beauty, aren't they? They are a majestic gift from the gods. Everyone should have a bidet. If you don't have a bidet, I'll explain to you what exactly it is here. It is a nice little super soaker that you mount to your toilet. You hit a little button, and when you're done doing your business, it gives you that power wash of dreams right on your hind end. Oh, it's wonderful. And the only problem is, mine, I don't have hot water hooked up to it.
Oh.
So it's kind of like sitting on a rocket pop. So I got it for my wife, and I got it after the last baby, you know. She was furious, angry, and I didn't understand why. I was like, babe, you know, what's wrong? She's like, we've been together for 15 years, and the first gift that you've given me while thinking of me is a damn bidet. She's like, I've seen you order all kinds of weird stuff, but no, the butt washer's my gift. But she came around. She spends a couple hours on it a night. I need to check on that massaging function it has. So, let me bring it to an end here. I got a couple last things for you. I got something about 9/11, and I've got something about losing my virginity. 9/11. Well, see, I figured I'd start with 9/11 because it's the least depressing one.
Oh.
So, when 9/11 happened, I was young. I was in 7th or 8th grade. And they bring us into the gymnasium of the school. And, you know, we're kind of wondering why we're there, you know. This is a small school, so it's a class of 30 people. So there's like 60 of us in there, a couple of the older classes. And we're sitting there and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And they wheel in the TV with a nice little tray there and the VCR. I'm like, oh, okay, movie day. They turn it on and there's One World Trade Center tower has been hit, and right as they turn it on, the other one gets hit. And it's CNN, you know, we're watching it live. And, you know, a lot of the kids are sad. You know, they're crying, they're upset. A lot of us are confused, we don't know what's going on. You know, this is kind of a weird situation. A lot of us are angry. Myself, I was furious. Oh, this school had cable the whole time? So anyway, about losing my virginity. I met this lovely young lady and we're enjoying it. We're hanging out together and we're about halfway through Young Frankenstein. And we're really, you know, enjoying the movie. And I tell you what, after you hear so many of those, you know, you start to get a little excited. He knows what I'm talking about. So we're sitting there. She's kind of giving me the look. And I'm like, really? All right. You know, if you want to do this, we'll do it. So we go off, and I'll spare you the details, but a lovely 45 seconds later, we're basking in the afterglow, you know? And by afterglow, I mean sweat, because I lived in a non-air-conditioned double-wide trailer, and it was middle of summer. And so we're laying there, and I tell her, you know what, honey, we should probably get dressed. Like, my father's going to be home soon. We should get some clothes on. She says, no, you know, let's wait here. Let's enjoy the moment. You know, let's just hang out here. And like any man with a naked woman laying in front of him, I went, all right. And about that time I hear, hey, Charles! And my old man opens the door. And, of course, I didn't have time to react, so the only thing I could do is give my best Fonzie impersonation. Hey! And he stares at me and slowly backs out and shuts the door and proceeds to not talk to me for 3 days. Like any good father should. Now, my dad has been there for every football game, every baseball game. He's been to a lot of my shows. So it's only natural for him to be there for my deflower. My name's Giles Mann, and that is my time.
Yeah!
everything I wanted to say.
Yeah.